Wow, what a special day. As my former president would say, what a red letter day for Louisiana Tech University. And thank you all for being here tonight for this celebration of some of our most successful alumni and athletes in the history of this institution. And these athletes have performed at the very highest levels in their sports and professions and have distinguished themselves and distinguished Louisiana Tech. And we've all enjoyed watching these alumni as they've performed on the courts and the fields of Louisiana Tech. And we've beamed with pride as they've excelled in prominent courts and playing fields and sports venues across the nation. And because of their incredible successes, they've helped others of us see that whether you are from Shreveport, Ruston, Summerfield, Tickfaw, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, or Pineland, Texas, you can come to Louisiana Tech, get an education, compete in athletics, and then go on to achieve the highest level of success in your chosen profession. The statues that we'll soon reveal in Champions Plaza will forever demonstrate our pride and gratitude for your success. And the statues will also serve as an inspiration to others, and they too can achieve great things. The Sarah and A.L. Williams Champions Plaza is a tremendous venue for showcasing Tech's greatest champions. That plaza could not have been possible without the generosity of 1972 Tech alumnus, Chris Richardson. Chris played a major role in laying the foundation for success in what's come to be called the golden era of Tech football. And Chris and his wife, Ann, have been loyal supporters and great benefactors for so many of Tech's major athletics projects and scholarships and other kinds of activities all across campus. I thank them for their most loyal support and for enabling the Champions Plaza to recognize another legendary Louisiana Tech couple, Sarah and A.L. Williams. Thank you. Miss Sarah and A.L., who we've known for a long time, have had such great impacts on so many people over the years. And we all know that we would not be the same institution, we would not be the same people without the leadership, loyalty, and friendship of Sarah and A.L. over all of these years. Coach, I'm most honored to be your friend, and thank you for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce Chris Richardson to come make an introduction.
Thank you, Dr. Geis. It's great support from Dr. Geis, Dr. Woods. All the staff has been so great with helping with this and putting it together. I couldn't ask for any more sincere help. And, we were here earlier, we've been here 3 weeks in a row, I guess, now. And that's most probably in a row since we graduated. So it's a great event to have. But these guys, I couldn't have named it for anybody I care for anymore. Sarah and A.L. Williams, I just saw them through their career do so much for so many students, their athletes, and everywhere I would go with Sarah and A.L. on just to lunch or anything else, you'd see people come up to them and remember that they were their coach, teacher, etc. And this Champions Plaza is going to be a great tool for recruiting, for just showing the history of Louisiana Tech. I was fortunate enough to play with 3 years with Terry, and that was some amazing years. And then to start the next vision of Louisiana Tech football. I played 1 year with Fred Dean. That was amazing to be with athletes like that. But these other four, I certainly followed you during your careers here at Tech and in your pro careers. And it's my honor and my wife Ann's honor to help with this program and with this dedication. So let's have a good evening.
Can all y'all hear okay? No? Take it easy. Tap the brake. That's why I was asking. Turn up Sorry about that. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for the part you had in making tonight a reality. Can you hear better now? 1, 2, 3. Can you hear better? Yeah. Okay. And it might be better, some of you, if you get in the middle. We want you to be able to hear Willie Rofe. I would never forget you, my man, ever. I'm your boy. My name's Teddy Allen. I'm sweeping up after Malcolm. Hey, Teresa, I hadn't got to see everybody. As a way of introducing this evening's special guest, Malcolm and I were basically going to share with you what's going to be etched on these statues. And it seems sort of silly because it's information all y'all know, but it's a reminder that to not take these accomplishments for granted, which we all do. They've accomplished so much, it's easy to go, well, Terry's done something, look what Carl did, Kim did something else, and you just kind of don't think about it. Well, really, it's quite amazing when you hear it all at one time. And I'm so happy for all 6 of you. It ain't easy making it look easy. And I appreciate what y'all mean to this school and to the game, to the fans that love you. So let's rock and roll so we can go see these statues. What do you say? Batting leadoff. He lettered 4 seasons at Louisiana Tech from 66 to 69. His number 12 jersey has been retired by Louisiana Tech. He's a 2-time football coach's All-America quarterback and Gulf State's Conference Athlete of the Year in 68 and 69. Gulf State Conference champion in 69 and a 2-time Grantland Rice Bowl participant with his teammates in 68 and 69. He was a Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 79, one of the great covers of all time with him and Pittsburgh Pirate Willie Stargell on the cover. He totaled 4,400 plus career passing yards, 39 career touchdowns, was 1968's NCAA leader in passing, an All-American selection and Senior Bowl MVP in 1969, taken with the first overall pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1970 NFL Draft and spent 14 seasons in the NFL. 4-time Super Bowl champion with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 74, 75, 78, and 79. Some of y'all probably watch those on television, I would bet. 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 78 and 79. 3 times he was Pro Bowl, 2 times NFL passing leader, and he was the NFL Most Valuable Player and Burt Bell Award winner in 78. Couple more things. He's the NFL All-Decade Team quarterback in the 1970s. He's in the Pittsburgh Steelers Hall of Honor and on their all-time team. He was a Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame inductee in 88, Tech Athletics Hall of Fame in the inaugural class in 84, College Football Hall of Fame in 96, Pro Football Hall of Fame in 89. My God, what more could the man do? Plenty more, actually, and we'll talk to him about it. Welcome, please, your original blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw. There we go. Gotta love him.
Oh, yeah, they got that.
Hey, your friend Larry Gallen had a big hit 40 years ago.
Right,
Statues Without Hearts.
right.
Well, I like to think that these statues out here, especially yours, have a heart. If that's the case, what does yours feel like this evening, and what would your heart want to express?
because of the school, the statue, the honors, all of that. I've said this 1,000 times. I don't hesitate when I'm asked the question. The happiest times of my athletic career were right here at Tech, and I've done that on television, on Fox, on every interview I've ever done. I say this is where I had the most fun ever, was right here at this school. I loved it here. My only probably one regret is that I never settled down here. And because I really like it over here. The Davisons have always offered me a piece of land and free banking, and cars are free.
It ain't too late, Terry.
But it's always been my statue. I haven't seen it yet. I heard y'all had it. It's photoshopped.
Covered up, I
Good.
guess. Right.
And, but it's very easy for me to say that my happiest athletic moments easily were here.
Well, one of the people that put you on the path was Miss Novice, your mother. She
Right.
was a stealthily wonderful athlete. She passed away August 12th. She was so encouraging.
Right.
What would she have to say about her boy getting a statue?
Well, she couldn't say anything because she's too emotional. So she'd start crying. She seriously would not say a word. She would not say a word. But later on, she would tell me how proud she is of me. And she used to love to come over here. We got her tickets to the games, and she'd come to football games, and everybody made a fuss over her. And she was in her 80s then. She was 94 when she passed away, and she loved when she came to the stadium because everybody would just fuss over her. That just made her day.
She was wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell the Mr. Bill story real quick. The day you were picked first in the draft,
Right.
I think that you wanted to go fishing with your dad.
I
and
was
he said,
pulling out of the yard, backing up with my truck and boat going fishing. Right.
And he said,
I just got off the phone with the Chicago Bears, and they're trying to make a trade with the Steelers, who won the coin toss for the first pick, and they think they're going to make a move to get the first pick. And he said, you can't go anywhere. You got to stay here. Because back then, 1970, who cared? I mean, I didn't care anything about the draft. I thought 34th, I don't know about Willie, but 34th round, fine with me. I thought I was going to the Saints. They were at practice every day. I had no idea I'd go to Pittsburgh, for God's sake. Really, Pittsburgh?
it ended up being
You ever
good
been
for
to
you.
Pittsburgh? Kim, you been to Pittsburgh? Teresa?
Well, a side note, I think you'll appreciate this. 25 years ago yesterday, here next door in the stadium that you played in, Tech crushed the Raging Cajuns 77-14. 63-point beatdown. That's the largest margin of victory in the stadium history. And just to remind you, Saturday the Bulldogs are going to be at Nebraska's 2:30 kick. Malcolm's going to be on pregame at 1. And hopefully the Bulldogs can give you something to talk about on Fox Sunday. You're always willing to coach up the Bulldogs,
yeah,
certainly. These Fox guys are like your teammates now, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Do any of them have a statue?
Listen, there's only 2 graduates on that. Well, 3 now. Kurt got his master's. Jimmy Johnson's got his master's in psychology, and myself. Michael and Howie, unfortunately, aren't as smart as us. Okay. So they don't have a degree.
Do any of them have a statue?
No.
Good.
I don't think so.
Well, good. That's something you
Not
rub
yet.
your face in, son.
No, their schools wouldn't dare do that. No.
Update us briefly, if you will, on your family and your girls.
What about them?
Update us on them. Just let us know what's going on with
With
Team
my
Bradshaw.
girls?
Yes.
Well, my beautiful wife is here. There's
Yes.
Tammy sitting right there. She's raising, there she is. The 3 girls are good. Lacey with the 2 kids. They're now 6 and 10. Zuri's 10. Jebediah is 6. Aaron, the youngest, just had a baby, and it's soon be 2 years old. That's
No.
Jesse. And Rachel got married in March and is pregnant now and due to have a baby in February. So all 3 girls are now, 2 are out of the nest, one's on
Okay.
the nest, and so on and so forth.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm sure that
Yeah,
you're a
y'all
unique
understand that,
grandfather. Speaking of family,
Yeah,
Coach Slaughter
right.
and Coach A.L. Williams, who
Right.
we're honoring tonight, of course, along with memory of
AL
Miss
taught
Sarah.
me how to hold the football.
Okay. How were you
AL,
holding?
actually, so here's the story with AL. Because I had such a strong arm, he decided that we could get a point or 2 in track if I would throw the javelin. He had no idea what a javelin was. And he came to me and he said, hey, you throw the javelin, with that strong arm of yours, we'll get a point. Well, I don't. So I got in. Back then, we had what's called encyclopedias. They don't have those anymore. So I got home and I had a encyclopedia and I got the J's out and I went to javelin and I read everything I could. There's a couple of pages about the javelin, how you throw across the leg. And so I went back because AL didn't know anything about throwing the javelin. And so I went back and I put my finger on the end. I went out and I practiced throwing it. I went to the first year, my best throw was 144 feet or something, and I got a little medal. I got like third and second. I thought, that's the coolest thing. Oh, trust me, big deal back then. My second year was 180, so I went from 140 or 50 to 180, and then I went to the championship, district championship, and they had this hot shot javelin thrower there, and him and his daddy would make you just want to puke and throw up. You just wanted to slap them. They were just obnoxious.
Terrible.
And I got up there and I beat that guy. I outthrew him. I threw further than he did that day. And that was the happiest moment of my life.
Right.
I was so glad to sit. And then the following year, I broke the national record, then the world record for 17-year-old kids.
Yes, you
And then
did.
I had 3 throws over 280, and they wouldn't mark them because they wouldn't. They remember AL. They would prick the ground. It was I threw it from here, and it went 280 feet there. But I said, well, we can't tell exactly where it landed. Well, it went 280 feet. Just pick out a spot.
Right.
Remember, they wouldn't give it to me. So anyway,
Well, thank you for
I like
AL's.
that. I just like that story. That's a good story.
It was.
I got one more. So I put my javelin up. I hated throwing that thing because it hurt your elbow. And so AL comes to me and he says, the state of Louisiana is not going to acknowledge your world record in the javelin. And I said, so the world's going to acknowledge it, but the state's not going to? This is Louisiana? Are you kidding me?
It's a crazy world.
He said, no, you're going to have to go to the state meet. Well, I hadn't thrown the thing, AL, a couple of weeks? I hadn't even picked it up. So we drove. He said, now, if you don't want to do it, fine. I said, all right, I want to own the state record. All I had to do is probably throw it 190 feet. That was the state record.
Right.
So I go down there, I practice in the backyard, AL picks me up, we drive down to Natchitoches to Northwestern, I get my javelin out of the sleeve. I got more track stuff than I have.
I was going to say.
Track out of the sleeve, I go down there, I warm up, first throw, 239, 11 3/4. I got my javelin, I put it back in my deal, I wrapped it up, and went and sat with AL up there. State record. I think it still stands, I don't know, but
Good for
that's
you.
a good story too. I like that story.
Well, we'll close on one. You also played football, is what I was
did.
told. Is
I
what
did.
somebody told me.
That's why I'm getting a statue. It wasn't
Right.
for javelin.
And Coach Slaughter had, so I know you enjoyed your time around Coach Mick.
Measure it.
What's it?
Measure it.
That was his favorite thing to say.
That's what he used to. I thought, poor Coach Lewis and those defensive backs, Mickey had turned me loose to bomb away on them, and he'd stand behind me, watch me
Just
air it out,
Wear 'em
and Lewis
out.
is screaming and hollering, and if Berto or Spinks at 60, 70 yards, and Mickey would be hollered, measure it, measure it. And AL and him would get into fights. It was the funniest thing you ever seen.
good for them.
Yeah.
It was good times.
It
Well,
was great times.
let's close with this. Anything, final words you got for your Tech Bulldog family here tonight?
Do I
Any
know?
final words for your Tech family here
Well,
tonight?
just how much I love you. What a great honor to go in with this beautiful class. My man Willie over here, they ignored him. They didn't acknowledge him earlier. You don't mess with Willie because that's a big young
Big
man right there.
He's a big man.
And he got that. I'm going to get you a new jacket from Strahan, baby. You're not going to ever have to buy another jacket at the J.C. Penney. That's where you got it, right? But I love my Tech family. I love all these great players and coaches that are going in. And Chris and I were talking about, I could go on forever, but this is such an honor. I'm so proud to be a Bulldog. I'm so proud that I graduated. I actually came back one semester to graduate. I wasn't a great student, but I graduated. And a lot of people don't know when I signed out of high school, it was either Yale for academics
Sure.
or Tech for football, and I chose Tech. But I thank all of you for supporting me and watching me and hopefully being proud of me, and I hope I've represented the school the way the school deserves to be represented.
We could
And it's
not
quite an
ask.
honor. Thank you.
We couldn't ask for a better ambassador, Terry. Bulldog fans, your original Blonde Bomber, Terry Bradshaw. We've got one more surprise for him and for y'all. We got him a Letterman's jacket, finally.
All right, Terry Bradshaw, everybody. I'm never going to live down, so again, I apologize. All right, we're going to move on here tonight. Our next statue honoree was a native of Ruston, Louisiana, lettered for Louisiana Tech on the gridiron from 1971 through 1974. His number 70 jersey has been retired by Louisiana Tech. Three-time national champion with the Bulldogs, 72, 73, 74. Four-time Southland Conference champion and all-conference selection. Two-time Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Two-time All-American selection. He was taken with the 33rd overall pick in the second round of the 1975 NFL Draft by the San Diego Chargers. Spent 11 seasons in the NFL with the Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers. He was credited with 93 official career sacks in the NFL, although sacks did not become an official NFL stat until 1982, so there's no telling how many he truly had. Held the NFL record at one time for the most sacks in a game with 6. Two-time Super Bowl champion with the 49ers, two-time All-Pro, four-time Pro Bowl selection, NFC Defensive Player of the Year in 1981. He was inducted into the Tech Athletics Hall of Fame in 1990, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 1995, the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2008, and the College Football Hall of Fame in 2009. He was one of the all-time greatest to ever wear a Louisiana Tech uniform. To help us honor him tonight, we'll be joined by his daughter. But ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Mr. Fred Dean. All right, well, Frederica and I go way back to Ruston High. We went to high school together, so we're friends as Bearcats from way back in the day. When you hear me say all those accolades about your father that I just rattled off, obviously very, very impressive. I pulled a quote from Bill McPherson, who was the defensive line coach for the 49ers when Fred played there. He said, "He's the best pass rusher I've ever seen. He's like a thoroughbred who races only on Sunday. When things are right, he's awesome. You just put him out there and watch him do his stuff." He was a superstar, Frederica. When we talked over the last couple of weeks, you said growing up as his daughter, you didn't really realize he was a superstar. He was just dad to you.
Right. Dad was so down to earth, and being young, you don't realize, fame, I saw Dad on TV, oh, that's daddy, but, with elementary, the children would come around and you're cool because, your dad is there, but as you grow up, you realize that he was really something. Daddy was just daddy. He was friendly. Everybody talked about mean Fred Dean, this, that. But when Daddy came back home in 99 and we really had a relationship, he was just Daddy. There was nothing special. It was just Daddy. Daddy was Daddy, and we tore down things. Now, Fred Jr. would fix, but Fred, my dad, and we would tear up stuff. So, it was great. It was great having him.
Well, he was good at tearing up opposing quarterbacks, that's for sure. It's funny, we talked, he grew up across the street from Joe IA Stadium, and you told me that he used to sit on the hill and talk about wanting to be a Bulldog after his Ruston High days.
Right. Dad sat on the hill, and we don't realize the power of our words. Dad would sit on the hill, and he would say, I'm going to play down there one day. I'm going to play on that field one day. And that's what happened. So we need to realize the power of our words. Our words really have life in them. So, yeah.
Well, he was a man of his word, that's for sure. Bulldog fans are happy about that. Talk a little bit about your experience when your dad was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2008 in Canton, Ohio.
It was fun. I didn't, like I say, I didn't realize how important it was. I just didn't realize it until we got there, and they made you feel like royalty, you know. Hey, push back, you know, they're pushing you back, and you have first at every, you know, a lot of the things, and you're meeting all of the people, you know, Joe Montana, you know, just a lot of them that you were meeting. So it felt pretty good. It was nice to see him on stage, and then you understand, you know, a little bit, you know, what he had.
You know, anytime you talk to some of his former teammates that played with him at Louisiana Tech, the thing everybody wants to talk about first is how strong that he was. I pulled a couple of quotes. This one was actually from Fred. He told a reporter one time, every now and then I get an urge to lift weights, and I just go somewhere and lie down until I get over it. I thought that was pretty good. And then Anthony Munoz, who is an NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame as well. He's one of the best offensive linemen to ever play the game. He was quoted as saying, he's still the strongest guy I ever faced. You and Pam told me a funny story while we were talking on the phone last week about how Fred kind of discovered exactly how strong he was.
Right. Well, Dad, you know, you don't realize your strength, you know, you don't, sometimes until an event happens in your life. And just so happened, he was in the bathroom with a cousin or with a friend or something like that, and he heard his friend or cousin being bullied. He was in the stall, didn't really want to come out, but he finally came out because he was one of those ones that he did not want anybody to be bullied. He wasn't going to bully anybody, but you were not going to bully, you know, the people around. And so he happened to come out of the stall, and let's just say there were human bowling balls, and the stalls were the pins. So that's when he really realized his strength.
Yeah, they had to do some renovations in that bathroom after that was over.
They did.
Fred obviously was a man of God. He served as a minister at New Nature Ministries here in Lincoln Parish. I reached out and talked to Ed Jackson this week. Ed said Fred was powerful in every aspect. He didn't meet a stranger. He didn't act like he was untouchable. He had a high respect for Louisiana Tech and its people. He understood where his power came from. Ed said that Fred always said, if it had not been for God on my side, I would never have had this opportunity. Right. Talk a little bit about how important Fred's spiritual life was to him and to y'all as family.
Right. He's the founder of New Nature, and he was the pastor there. It was very important. It was very important for us to know that with God, all things are possible. Just thinking of how he took the time, knowing who he was back then and tearing up stuff, and then realizing that God has given you a place on this earth to be able to influence other people, not just in football, but to influence in life, so that, you know, one day we all have to go that way. So it was very important to him. He was going to spend the time to let you know about it. And I'm thankful because a lot of people don't have their their earthly father as a spiritual father. So I thank God that my dad learned about him and then instilled it in all of us as well. So.
I read a lot of stories this last week about him, and numerous times he talked about his love for his alma mater. I read a story in the San Francisco newspaper where he was quoted talking about the banner that hangs over at Joe I. Stadium, outside the stadium. He said, "It's a very touching moment. I know it's going to end one day, but it gives you a pumped up and motivated spirit." What did Louisiana Tech mean to your father?
He was very proud of Louisiana Tech. He thanked everybody. He thanked Coach Lambright, for giving him a chance to get out there and do what he did. He loved the Bulldog. We would be in church, and he would say, because I'm a Gramblinite, I am a Tiger, and we would always have those back and forth. Bulldog's going to eat up the Tigers tonight. Daddy, let's not start that today. We're in church. Let's just praise God. Well, still, Bulldogs are going to do the thing. So he loved Bulldogs. He loved them.
Well, Louisiana Tech loved your father right back. It's been great getting a chance to think about Fred and honoring him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not only give it up for Fred Dean, let's give it up for his daughter, Frederica Dean White.
Fred Dean was a gentle giant for sure, and you talk to any of the guys who played with him, and they just loved him to death, besides the fact that he was such a good player, just such a good man. We asked him one time, one of us did you ever get a good shot at Terry Bradshaw? And he said, I did. And I said, what'd you do? He said, I wrapped him up, and then I just kind of laid him down. He didn't want to hurt his homeboy. Oh, he was so beautiful. Well, speaking of beautiful people, our next honoree lettered 3 seasons at Louisiana Tech from 82 to 85. His number 32 jersey has been retired by Louisiana Tech and by the Utah Jazz. A 3-time All-America selection, 1982-83 Southland Conference Player of the Year, National Association of Basketball Coaches second-team All-American in 85, Southland Conference regular season champion and back-to-back tournament champions. He was on those teams in 84-85. The program's first ever Division I top 20 ranking and Sweet 16 appearance. He was there in 1985. Recorded more than 700 career points, more than 850 career rebounds at Tech. A 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA in the 92 Barcelona and 96 Atlanta Olympics. He was taken with the 13th overall pick in the 85 NBA draft by the Utah Jazz, and he spent 19 seasons in the NBA. 14-time NBA All-Star, 14-time All-NBA, 4-time NBA All-Defense, and on the NBA All-Rookie team. I don't know how he got on and off planes for 14 years, much less be 14 times All-NBA. Louisiana Tech Hall of Famer in 82, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 08, 2-time NBA Most Valuable Player, and a 2-time Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer, 2010 because of his individual career, and 1992 with the U.S. Olympic teams. He is from Summerfield, Louisiana. In Claiborne Parish, he is your favorite power forward, Carl Malone. I appreciate it. Carl always had kind of a crush on me. It's kind of embarrassing. We're a lot alike. We're big men. We both played in the NBA, and but it's Carl's night. Carl, I'm so happy for you. What do you think, Miss Shirley? I love any time you talk about your mom. It was a pleasure for all of us to be around her. What do you think she would say about you having a statue on campus with your friends and these other Hall of Famers?
Hello.
Easy. I'll tap the brakes.
Terry, you bragging about your graduation. I love you that you graduated. I didn't, but not the sharpest tool, but not the dullest either. All right, let's carry on. So, really, I got my hanky. First of all, I'm honored to be here, and I'm humbled to be here. And first of all, my mom was everything. So I'm because of my mom, Shirley, and my grandfather lived there. I'm the man I am. So she know the rest. But I want to start off by saying that I'm humbled and honored to be sitting in front of you right now. But I would like to say, first of all, to my family, my wife Kay, all my 7 children, and my ready-to-be 12 grandchildren. I love you guys. You guys are everything to me. I die for you guys. And like we say, let's ride.
How about a hand for the family? It takes a minute to get all the Team Malone together, as you might imagine.
All right.
Y'all are beautiful. Good to see you tonight.
And then, again, to all the legends and Hall of Famers, I'm honored to be amongst you guys. To see the work you guys have done and continue to do. I am one of the proudest men walking. Kim, Class, Teresa, Terry on Fox. You always make it your point to let everybody know how proud you are of Louisiana Tech. So I'm going to take as much time as I want because I want to get some off my chest here. To Miss Dean, I idolized your dad in my own way. To Willie, what a man, what a person to do the things he do. No one knows. You got a heart and a soul and a spirit that's contagious. I want to say thank you. I wake up every day of my life. Whatever I got coming to me, I'm going to take it on like a man. That's how my grandfather Leonard taught me. So I just want to say, I wake up every day to make a difference. I wake up every day to make my ancestor proud. We're in a time in these days that everyone want to take because they can. We don't take anything, we earn it. I live every day for my family, and I fight and defend my family to the death. That's what I believe in. And I feel the same way about the people that have touched my life in Ruston, Louisiana. I will always wake up every day and carry you guys to my grave. But my family is my life, and they my world. My 7 children, thank you guys. Make me a better person. Make no mistake about it. I love everyone I come in contact with. But I'm prepared to do it like you want to do it. I come in peace, but I prepare for war. I love you guys. There's people in this town that have loved me unconditionally. I want to continue to play it forward the best of my ability. I'm at peace with my life, my family. I want to carry this thing on. I want to do so much good in this world. There's no more good to do. You earn what you get. And then, to our athletes, we should be honored that you chose this university. So if no one ever told you, athletes, the hardest job is to be an athlete. The times you put in and the effort you sacrifice. So as a bulldog for the rest of my life, I want to say on behalf of all of us, Dr. Geis, Dr. Wood, everybody, the legends up here, you deserve better. You deserve better from Bulldog Nation. So a lot of people talk about it, but just be about it. I will promise you this. I will leave this earth one day, and I will face the music for my actions on this earth. But I can rest very easy knowing that I didn't do it alone. Everybody here accepted me for me. Thank you for everyone here. My family, continue to do what you do. I'm proud of you. Dr. Geis, I love you. Kim, Teresa, Dr. A.L., thank you. Thank you. Terry, Willie, Ms. Dean, I'm honored. I'm proud. I love you. Now carry on, Terry.
Carl, along. No. Couple more things. Couple things. This picture over here, you wanted to, speaking of student athletes, what did you want that to illustrate to today's student athletes?
I want these athletes to look at this picture here. Yeah. I'm just going to paraphrase a lot of things, what it means to me. And it's the motto of our company that everyone here helped build, that we continue to give back. That's a blind horse right there. That is in every one of our stores, and that tells a lot of things about being a proud American, first of all, and own it. That horse is blind. Let's stop complaining and make excuses. That horse is lived his life, had babies on the ground blind, and pulled it every day 1 more mile, blind. So with a little bit of effort and a little bit of give or shit and want to, let's stop complaining. You're looking at a man that one human being believed in. When some of my siblings said, get on with it, I wanted to be a fighter pilot in the Marines. I wanted to fly the Harrier jet because I was colicky as a little boy. And the only thing that got me through it was when that plane left in Vietnam and went out on its missions, it hovered. As I grew up, as a little kid, my mom, when I used to walk with her, and told her I wanted to fly the Harrier jump jet. I wanted to know who flew it. So as I went through school, I started meeting my recruiter 3 straight years. I wanted to fly that plane, and I wanted to land it across my field that we owned in Mount Sinai, and I wanted to buzz the little country store, Turner's Grocery, and I wanted to hover over there, and they was the cleanest. I love all of our military, but the Marines was the cleanest dressed, just proud, and I wanted to fly that jet. And my mom, this little kid that wasn't that smart, she said, son, I know you will. So.
And if we'd have had a bigger cockpit, I'm sure you could have done that. In wrapping this up, tell some of us, tell some of us, what were some of your favorite memories of this building with you and your teammates? Because it was a lot of fun, 83 through 85.
It was. I said always, I played with 2 of the best 2-point guards in the world. Started off Wayne Smith, Trinity Heights High School. Wayne, I love you. The best point guard, 6'5", and what made him unbelievable, as well did John Stockton. He always played with his head up, and he never leaned unless he had a purpose. And I played with 2 of the best passers in the world, but my teammates and the town, it was just what I needed as that little boy from Summerfield, Louisiana. So the rest is, I guess, history.
It was a lot of fun, and y'all played like that horse right there. They all pulled together. Hope the Bulldogs can do the same this year. Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite power forward, Carl, the mailman, Malone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get your letters back. I got it.
Thank you, Carl. Since tonight is about celebrating 6 of our greatest former student athletes. I really want to take a quick moment. I know we have some current Louisiana Tech student athletes in attendance tonight. If you're a current Louisiana Tech student athlete, would you please stand up and let us give you a round of applause? You never know, our next Hall of Famer may be in that group right there. All right, as we move on, our next honoree came from Tickfall, Louisiana. Led at Louisiana Tech from 1980 through 1984. Led the Lady Techsters to an overall record, and this is just eye-popping, 130 wins and only 6 losses. 4 Final Fours, 3 national championship games, 2 national titles. Her jersey has been retired by Louisiana Tech. Back-to-back national championships, the 1981 AIAW and the 1982 NCAA national title. NCAA Final Four All-Tournament team. She earned the Francis Pomeroy Award as the nation's top player under 5'8" tall when she was a senior. She was not only pretty good on the court, she was pretty good in the classroom. 3-time NCAA Academic All-American. She's one of only 2 Louisiana Tech student athletes to ever receive this honor 3 times. Still number 2 on the program's all-time list in assists with 849. Olympic gold medalist in 84. She was a Pan American gold medalist in 83, a Jones Cup gold medalist in 84. Louisiana Tech assistant coach, associate head coach, all those things from 85 through 2000. During that time, helped lead Louisiana Tech to 7 Final Fours, national runner-up title in 87 and in 94, and an NCAA national championship title in 1988. During her time on the Tech coaching staff, Louisiana Tech won 430 games, 68 losses. She's won a national championship as a player, as an assistant coach, and as a head coach. She's been a part of, and I think I've got this right, 6 national title teams as a player, assistant coach, and as a head coach. She's won 3 national championships as a head coach. Her head coaching record, 692 wins, 112 losses during her 23 years. Once she entered Louisiana Tech as a freshman in 80 through 81, since that time, she has been a part of 1,252 wins as a player, an assistant coach, and a head coach. She's inducted into Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in 1990, the Tech Athletics Hall of Fame in 92, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 2000, and the Naismith Basketball Memorial Hall of Fame in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome one of the all-time greatest in the history of the game, Kim Mulkey. All right, that was a lot of numbers to rattle off, Kim. I hope I don't have to take a test on that, but they're all really, really impressive. We are so thankful that you're back here tonight. What does it mean? Obviously, you had some great moments in the Thomas Assembly Center, not only as a player and as a coach. What's it mean to be back here tonight?
Trade with me. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you to the Richardsons for what you did for AL and Sarah. When I look at the group here, other than you, Terry, that means you're pretty damn old. Other than you, I can honestly say I've got a little history with everybody. Obviously, I coached Teresa here. Carl and I were in school together, and I never got any of Miss Shirley's pies, and I'm still pissed about that. Willie shows up as a freshman. Joe Raymond, right? Willie had the skinniest little ankles you've ever seen in your life for a big man. Fred Dean hit my ex-husband in practice, and the face mask sat on our mantle for years after we married. And then, of course, Coach Williams, you were here as well. I'm honored. I'm not sure I'm worthy, but I'm honored because I had a heck of a team here that I got to just basically be the point guard and just tell them where to go and when to do it. Pam Kelly, Angela Turner, Janice Lawrence, Jennifer White, the list goes on. And it was an era of women's basketball here at Louisiana Tech that I can't even describe to you. And I've been on some pretty remarkable teams.
Tickfall, Louisiana. What do you remember about your recruitment? You played at Hammond High School, right? What do you remember about your recruitment to Louisiana Tech when Coach Hogue and Leon Barmore were coming down there recruiting you?
Well, first of all, I'm from Hammond, which is southeast Louisiana, and you have to go 55, hit Vicksburg, Mississippi, come across the Delta there, and when we got across the river, I just said, are we in Louisiana still? I started seeing rolling hills and pine trees, and I said, you got to be kidding me. Where I come from, it's swamps and flatland. But when I came to the first game that I'd ever seen in college, it was an old Memorial Gym in UCLA, and when the crowd didn't sit down until the opposing team scored, I thought, this is like a Baptist revival. And F.J. Taylor was sitting next to me. Miss Hogue, she was a recruiting guru. Barmore did all the coaching. It was unbelievable. And I know that when this building was built in 1982, when Edwin Edwards came up here and dedicated it and everything, I really didn't want to leave Memorial Gym because that atmosphere, you had to ask people to move so you could throw the ball in bounds. And this is home. Louisiana is my home. I spent 19 years, Malcolm, here in Ruston, Louisiana. My children were born at Lincoln General. I know it's not called that anymore, but this is home. I lived in my dream home 4 months before I took the Baylor job. But always know, wherever my career took me, I always told people where I came from.
I talked to Coach Barmore numerous times over the years about you. One of the quotes I pulled, very few athletes have in their DNA her type of competitive gene, the type that simply will not tolerate losing. She was like that with our team and with herself. She wanted to be great. She carried that desire over to our team, have coached very, very few people that have her type of competitive DNA. What was it like playing for Coach Barmore and Coach Hogue?
Well, let me say this. I don't know that I've ever heard him say that. All I ever wanted him to say about me, he finally said. I always wanted my coaches to say, that's one tough woman. And he finally said it one day, and I could have hugged him. Coach Barmore and Sonja Hogue had an arrangement in how they coached our team like none other. She knew what her role was, he knew what his role was, and the details of his coaching carry over to what I do today. I still run things today that I learned here at Louisiana Tech. Hell, I even call them the same thing that we called them here. But the thing I will say is this. Leon Barmore, Pat Summitt, I got to play for the best. I got to play for those two good people. And if you don't do anything but absorb what they say like a sponge and take it into your everyday life, something's wrong with you. I remember, I think it was in 1984 on this court. Coach Barmore came to practice in a very good mood. And we all laughed because we thought, oh, Rachel treated him good last night. But he was so happy. And you know what he was happy about? He was celebrating I made my first B at Louisiana Tech. So he kept up with us in the classroom as well.
I reached out to Coach Hogue, and she told me, she said, number one, Kim loved the game. She was just a winner. She didn't like losing at anything. She wanted to make the highest grades. She wanted to win at everything. She absorbed the coaching aspect of the game. She was so smart. 130 wins in 4 years as a player here. Again, 4 Final Fours, 3 national championship games, 2 national titles. Is there a single game that you can pinpoint that may be your favorite moment as a Lady Texter?
No, I think what people forget, I didn't start when I came to Louisiana Tech. That's how good we were. I came off the bench. I know y'all remember Deborah Rodman, Dennis Rodman's sister that played with me. What a tremendous ball player she was. She and I came off the bench. So the lesson there is this. We're playing Cheney State. Vivian Stringer's coaching Cheney State at the time, and we're at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia, and they like to press. I knew I was going to be in that game real quick. I remember those types of moments. And then, of course, the celebration of winning the national championship and just bringing it back to Lincoln Parish. And Frederica, I can tell you, I watched many of Gramblin's games, because what we would do when Louisiana Tech wasn't playing football, we'd get in our cars and we'd go to Gramblin, but we left as soon as the band was done. We wanted to see the band. So what wonderful memories I have. Carl, it's good to see you get emotional, because you're right. As we age, we own our mistakes. We say I'm sorry more, and it's heartfelt, because at the end of the day, that statue's going to be there, but we're not going to be here forever. And you want to touch lives. You want to do right. You want to do right by people. I left Louisiana Tech not angry, not upset. It was a principle thing. It was time for me to be a head coach. I left Baylor to come back home. You don't always leave and go places because of somebody being upset. It's just time, Willie. It was time to go to Kansas City. It's time. Timing is everything in life, people. When you get married, when you have kids, when you take that next job.
Well, I can remember you mentioned Dr. Taylor. I can see him sitting over there on the front row right now with those cowboy boots up on the rail, and I can remember the buses coming back after the national championships over at Memorial Gym with hundreds and hundreds of people out there waiting for you. Final question, what does tonight and this honor mean to you and your family?
Well, my family's not here. My son plays for the St. Louis Cardinals. My daughter's in Waco with 2 little ones. I wouldn't let her drive. Son-in-law is in Alaska hunting moose. And I wasn't about to drive here and back with my mother at 81. No way. It means a great deal to the families. It means a great deal to the fans. Certainly, as athletes, we're just humble. I don't know any other way to say it, that anybody would think that we did something special. We did what we came here to do, and that was to get a free education and give you the best effort we could give you on the playing field. Thank you guys very much.
Well, from a pigtail point guard to one of the greatest coaches in the history of the game, Kim Mulkey, folks.
Y'all hear what Terry just said to me? I dare you to wear that in Baton Rouge. Terry, they know where I got my college degree.
Thank you, Kim. And by the way, I was incorrect. She won 4 as a head coach, folks.
Four, that's good. Congratulations, Kim. Just keep at it, and maybe it'll work out. Just hang in there. We're all rooting for you. On a night like this, I don't know, so many accomplished people, and I think about when I was a little bitty boy, and I'd, pray before I go to bed, God, please just make me somebody, and it occurs to me I should have been a little more specific, Kim, if your children were born today, they'd be born in North Louisiana Medical Center, who's a wonderful sponsor, so I just wanted to thank them. And I don't know how big our next honoree was when he was born, but he was a pretty big boy, I bet. He led 4 seasons at Tech from 89 to 92. He is the most decorated New Orleans Saint ever. His number 71 jersey has been retired by our university. He was a consensus All-American and Outland Trophy finalist in 1992. Most of y'all know this. Consensus means everybody voted for him. He could have played with anybody. He was a 2-time All-South Independent and All-Louisiana selection in 91 and 92. He and his teammates participated in the Indy Bowl in 90, the Hula Bowl in 93. He played in the East-West Shrine game in 1993. At the time of his graduation, he had blocked for 2 of the top 5 career rushers in Louisiana Tech history. He was taken with the 8th overall pick by the New Orleans Saints in the 93 NFL Draft. Spent 13 seasons in the NFL, 7 with the Saints and with the Kansas City Chiefs. Pro Football Writers Association All-Rookie Team in 1993, 9 times All-Pro, 11 times Pro Bowl. 11 Pro Bowls in a 13-year career. No offensive lineman has more than that ever. 2-time NFL All-Decade Team for the 90s and the 2000s. He's in the New Orleans Saints Hall of Fame and the Ring of Honor inductee down in New Orleans. Tech's first consensus All-American, Louisiana Tech Hall of Fame in 2003, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame 2009, Pro Football Hall of Fame 2012, College Football Hall of Fame 2014. He is the eminently likable and laid-back warrior, our friend Willie Roaf.
Hello, all right. Yes, sir.
Love the jacket, love the kicks.
Do you like that? My wife put this together.
Willie's statue, it should come as no surprise, cost more than anybody else's.
I bet it did.
Because we needed extra bronze. Good for you. When offensive linemen get singled out, it's usually for what?
Not good.
Not good.
Like Jawan Taylor for the Chiefs right now. He's having some problems, so we got.
And then, so I was going to say you weren't going to go overlook tonight, and then we fumbled at the first. But Willie, we're always going to be able to see you because you're always going to have a statue right out here in this Sarah and A.L. Williams Champions Plaza. What was your confidence like when you came here from Pine Bluff compared to after Petey and Joe Raymond and them got through with you and you started to leave?
You know, it's funny. I talked to Coach Baldwin today. When Coach Baldwin came to recruit 2 guys, 2 of my teammates, Wall State, Elson Reed and Trey Reed, and both of them came and committed, and they saw me on film. And I was playing football, but I played my last 2 years. I was playing a lot of basketball. I went to UCA when Pippen came out and got offered, and you know, I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like Carl. I was going to the military. My dad said either you're going to get a scholarship or at 18 you got to go, you know, so you're going to figure it out one way or another. But anyway, I didn't, when they said Louisiana Tech, I'm from Arkansas, so it's Razorbacks. I didn't know anything about Louisiana Tech, you know, before I came here. And Coach Peace is here, Coach Piro. I came down here, and I'm just so proud that I got a chance to come down here and play, because when I played football in high school, we still had to block like this. Mm-hmm. So you had to have good feet, right? And I was like 220 my senior year. And then when I got here, I got to use my arms. And then I got red-shirted, and I started about 250, and I just remember Coach Piro was on me. And I had a turning point game. It was, you know, the Florida game, I sprained my knee a little bit and came out the game. But really my first year, my redshirt year, we went to Akron, and I wasn't ready to play. So for all these student athletes to just think, you know, you're just going to come and have a statue when this happens. We all go through growing pains. And I was on that bus, and Coach Piro chewed me another one and told me he might have been joking. I'll send you back to Pine Bluff if you don't get it together. And after that, I got it together. I'll tell you that.
I'm glad they didn't send you back to Pine Bluff, Willie. Jeez. If y'all get a chance, go on YouTube, and it'll be like you'll see a cornerback back here, and you'll see a running back behind Willie, and you'll see 77. And then all of a sudden you won't see the cornerback anymore. It's beautiful to watch. Were you always the big, go ahead.
I would get, you know what, they didn't realize how quick I was. So when I get out on there, I got out there a little faster than they thought I was, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's he's running as fast as the back is, and it's men against boys. You mentioned you were good in basketball. Could Carl have guarded you?
I think Carl would have done more than guard me, yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to play power forward. I could handle it a little bit, but no,
I know Teresa could guard you.
I know she could, yeah. But you know, I got here, I got red-shirted. Shout out to Joe Taylor. We had an excellent strength coach, and as I matured and learned how to play and got bigger, I was quicker. So it just, excellent coaching staff, and we were going Division I at that time, and my proudest achievement is we never lost at Joe IA. We were 16-0. We had to play on the road a lot.
Wow.
We were making money for the school, 7 SEC schools, but we just, if you thought we were coming in there and you were just going to walk on us, they knew different after they played us, everybody.
Well, Timo took one of his best pictures is in the end zone, and you're knocking All-American defensive end's hat off his head, I think. Y'all weren't scared of anybody. What gave you the most joy, just sheer joy, when you played?
Just like Terry said, I had the pros are the pros. That's, you're making a living. It's a little different. We had a great team chemistry. The team has to have great chemistry, first of all. Guys have to care for each other to have a good team. And we had that a few times in New Orleans, and in Kansas City we did. But in college, everybody looked out for each other. We loved each other. Back then it was the Hutchinson dorm. All of us were in the hut together, so we looked out for each other. We in all our sports, even going to support the women's. When I got here, it was all about the Lady Texters. So it was them, and then Randy White was here at the time. So and then Barry Dade and those guys came in. P.J. Brown was here with me, but we had great camaraderie, and like I said, we grew up here, and I'm just so thankful that they gave me the chance to play college football, and I got a chance to keep playing.
We're thankful too, Willie. Let's talk about your family for a minute. Introduce everyone to Clifton. Your dad, he was a dentist. He was really busy. How many home games did he miss, pro and college?
My dad played at my dad was from Merle, segregated South. He went to Michigan State and towards NEAP, so he never got to play. He's all-state in football and basketball. So really, I think God, to be honest with you, put me here to finish what he didn't get to do. And he came to every game in college, every home game, because he drove. He would drive. My dad's one of those guys. He would drive 8 hours on a Saturday when he wasn't at work. After the game, go back and go to work, and it was about 8 hours in New Orleans, about 8 hours in Kansas City. So my brother had one game at UAPB. He missed one game out of the whole time I played college and pro football in my whole career.
Because he went to see your dad.
And he was driving and going back home to go to work on Monday.
God love him. I think he put your jacket on. You went in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did.
God bless him. What did he do with the car? The cars would eventually, the motors would give out, and what would he do? The motors in the car. I mean, I think he went through a couple of cars.
Well, you know what you did back then. You get 100,000 miles, you overhaul it, and you put another 100 on it.
And keep driving. And keep driving. So, your mom, Judge Lawton, and your grandparents, your family growing up, I think you ate Sunday dinners together. Your daddy's daddy was Arthur.
Yes.
And what was Sunday dinner like at their house if the Cowboys were playing?
If the Cowboys were playing and you said anything bad, Grandma would put you out the house.
That's good.
But I'll tell you this: I didn't like the Cowboys at all because everybody. I'm from all of us close to everybody loves the Cowboys. I was a Steelers fan, so I loved the Steelers, and I wore Mr. Terry Bradshaw's jersey in my school picture in the 5th, 6th grade.
What
and I told him, I always tell him that.
Baby.
So it's funny what Coach said. All of us from this area, from Louisiana, Arkansas, like Carl said, we have a lot of ancestry that we have to make proud, and I understand now, living right, trying to do things the right way, and honoring your family, and being the best person you can be at this time,
Well, we're so glad you're part of the Louisiana Tech family. Anything you want to say to our Bulldog fans before we let you go?
It's such an honor to be up here with, I grew up, Carl, Spoon was here with me, Coach. So Fred, I met Fred after I got in the hall. I just want to say, every time I came in, I would check on Fred. He was a great person, and this is it's a special to play here, to be in this area. You can concentrate on sports. You don't have a lot of outside factors. You got enough to do, and it's a great place to play sports and enjoy it and look out for each other. And like Carl said, love on each other. We just got to love on each other and love on your family with everything going on in the world. That's all we can try to do here.
What he's saying is from the heart. You can ask your AD during games, Tech games. He'll be texting, hey, we got to get the run game going. He's keeping up. If you ever miss him, and miss this smile, you'll be able to go to the north end zone. He'll be waiting to see you. The leader of the dog pack, our buddy Willie Rofe.
All right. Let's see if I can.
This is a 4X, which is the biggest one they had, so we'll see if this does the trick.
Willie Rofe, ladies and gentlemen. All right, our final honoree tonight, a proud native of Pineland, Texas, lettered for 4 years with the Lady Texters, 84 through 88. Number 11 jersey has been retired by Louisiana Tech. She was a NCAA national champion in 1988, national runner-up in 87, two-time Kodak All-American, which is the top Kodak All-American, the top All-American team in the country. NCAA regional most outstanding player in 1988. I'm not sure they allow her to go to Austin, Texas anymore because she had the Longhorns number back then. She won the Wade Trophy in 1988 as the nation's best player. American South Conference and the State Player of the Year as a senior, still ranks number 1 in career assists with 958, number 2 in steals with 411. She's a member of the 1,000 Point Club, two-time Olympian, including a member of the 1988 gold medal team in Barcelona. Taken with the 10th overall pick in the initial player allocation draft of the 1997 inaugural WNBA season by the New York Liberty. 5-time WNBA All-Star, 4-time All-WNBA, 6-time Italian League All-Star when she played overseas. She's enshrined in the New York Liberty Ring of Honor, back-to-back WNBA Defensive Player of the Year honors. The head coach for the Lady Texters from 2009 through 2014, won 2 WAC championships and led the Lady Texters to the NCAA tournament in 2010 and 2011. Louisiana Tech Athletic Hall of Famer in 1995, Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and also a Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, both of those in 2010, Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame inductee in 2019. They call her Teaspoon, folks. Give it up for Teresa Weatherspoon. All right, Spoon, I've had the privilege of being in New York City with you. We went up there a couple of times with the Lady Texters, and folks, when I tell you that Teresa Weatherspoon is an actual rock star in New York City, it's amazing. We would be going down the road, and strangers that she didn't even know would immediately recognize her, and they just embrace her in New York City. Obviously, she's a rock star here in Ruston, Louisiana as well. Spoon, your playing days here in the Thomas Assembly, I'm sure it brings back some memories. What was it like playing here for the Lady Texters in the 1980s?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd just like to let everybody know how thankful I am to be back, to be a part of this entire group, and to be having a statue. Are you serious, guys? We're having a statue. It's an unbelievable moment, but when you talk about Louisiana Tech, the first person I'm going to talk about is Coach Barmore.
It's okay. He made me cry sometimes, too.
He made me cry a lot as a player, don't believe that. But it's something about him that he had expectations of me, some that I never even quite understood. But in those expectations, there were demands from him for me to get it done, not understanding that as his point guard, that every turnover was going to be my fault, every nonstop defensively, my fault. I didn't understand the role of being a point guard under his leadership. But the responsibility that he taught me, the accountability that he taught me has carried me a long way in this game. And I have to just thank him and appreciate him for everything he's done for me as an 18-year-old kid trying to find my way and understand my journey. I love you, Coach B.
So your playing days here, and you had some great games here at the Thomas Assembly Center. What's it mean to be back here tonight?
As you can tell, I think Carl kind of got me early because I felt his heart. I felt who he is as a man. People don't know that he even recruited me to be here at Louisiana Tech. A little Z28, thought that was going to get me here. But he helped me to get here too. But when you think about Louisiana Tech, there's so many memories. And it's not just basketball memories. And those are a lot here. I mean, we were rock stars. Lady Texas, we were rock stars. I remember telling Carl a lot of times, said, when we had a doubleheader, I was like, no, you guys going first, we're going last. You guys going first, we're going last, being the rock stars. But it's very special just to be back in the place. And to be right now, I'm between the four lines. And when you get between the four lines as a Lady Texas, we competed. We came after you every single time you get between these four lines with us. We gave everything we had. We worked our butts off to put that uniform on. Before you putting on the uniform, you put your practice gear on and you give everything you got in that practice, and it'll carry over to every game that you decide to play in that uniform. And being a Lady Texas has great meaning. It has a lot of meaning that'll carry you over for the rest of your life. But it's all about how you're going to carry it. It's a torch you got to carry in the life that you live. And I learned a lot of this. There's a lot of things that's going to happen in your life, and you don't understand it. You don't even understand why it happened. You don't understand why some things happened to you and some things were said about you. But you be as strong as you possibly can be, because that's what Lady Texas are built on. That's what being here at Louisiana Tech is built on. We're built strong. We're built to compete. We're built to be a part of anything that come our way, because we'll beat it, we'll conquer it, we'll defeat it. That's what it's like for me being here at Louisiana Tech.
Louisiana Tech obviously spoiled 8 straight years of really boasting the best point guards in the country. You followed Kim Mulkey. I found a quote from you. It said, "The one thing Kim Mulkey did for me was say, listen, those are my shoes. You have shoes of your own that you're going to fill, and you're going to do great things." That kind of eased me a little bit. Talk a little bit about what it was like following Kim Mulkey here.
Yeah, everyone didn't know that I came right after Kim. And I knew everything that the little ponytail young lady had accomplished. And I was looking at her like, okay, now you're coaching me. You're making this thing hard for me. And those were her words to me. Those were her shoes. She wanted me to, make sure my own were out here squeaking. My own were out here moving. My own were going to make their own footprint. And that meant more to me than you could ever imagine. And what she's doing now as a coach with those young ladies, what she's accomplishing, the one thing I love about Kim is her confidence. It's a level of confidence about her that I took from her while I'm playing. But I'm telling you, whenever I would look at her over on the bench, I'm trying not to look at Coach Barmore. I'm like, oh God, he's gonna kill me. So I'm looking at Kim like, what I do? This is all she would do. That was it. That was it. Like, what in the heck does that mean? But there were so many things about her that helped me along the way, because she let me know that it was my time.
I found a quote from Coach Barmore. In fact, I found a lot of them talking about you, and I can't tell you how many times in different quotes he kept referring to you as a coach's dream. Obviously, anybody who played for Coach Barmore had to play defense, and you were one of the best ever. You said, I wanted to show him that I'll defend. I'll be a part of this team, whatever I must do. But once I started to defend so much, I actually started to like it. I started to love it because it was controlled. I enjoyed that so much, I became a defender and let everything else go. Just talk a little bit about your mindset as being such a great defensive point guard.
That's the one thing he said to our team. If you want to play on this team, you will defend. And I can tell you exactly where I was standing when he said it. I was standing over in that corner right there, this half-court line. And Pam Gant was in front of me. I was like, oh my God. If I want to play with this team, I must defend. I went straight after Pam Gant. I left high school. Offense was simple, scored any time I wanted. But when I got here and I started to defend, I started to love it. I started to really enjoy controlling and stopping people. And at one point, I don't know what I was called, Coach Ball. They were calling me all kind of names. They didn't want to come across the court with the ball with me, just giving me all these different names because of being a defender. You don't see that anymore. Everyone wants to score the ball, score the ball, score the ball. But there's so many things that you can do in this game that you can control a game just by playing D. Just by playing D. And when I recognized that, I started to love it. I started to really enjoy it. I wanted the challenge. And when he challenged me, I went after it.
I'm going to take you to 1988 National Championship game. You go into the halftime locker room, Louisiana Tech trailing by Auburn by double figures. What was Coach Barmore's message to you, and how did that correlate in the second half?
He still says he doesn't remember this, but this is true. We were down, and I don't know, I have no idea. Kim probably had the booklet, she probably had it. It was the booklet in our locker room. I don't know how it's in the locker room. He opens it up and it goes right to my picture. And underneath that picture, it talked about how much I love to defend. So he looked at me, because Ruthie Bolton was really going off. She was going off in that first half. And who was Gardner? Me. So he pulls the book out. And that's what he says to me. He said, so what does this say in the book? I said, I love to defend. Are you defending? No, I'm not. But I told him, looked right at him, because he believed in eye contact. If he's talking to you, you better have eye contact. I looked right at him and I told her, I said, she won't score the second half. Ask Coach what happened. She did not score the second half.
And the Lady Textures came back and won that national championship game 56-54. You've talked about your love for Louisiana Tech. You will forever be memorialized with these other 5 greats with your own statue out there. Just one final comment about your love for your alma mater and whatever you want to say to the Bulldog and Lady Texture fans.
It's very simple. Thank you for just letting me be me. Thank you for allowing me as an 18-year-old kid and my family, because this means everything to my family. I wish my mom and dad could be here. And as we're talking, I would ask for your prayers for my family, because I am here alone tonight due to a family loss. But I ask you to pray for my family, because this means everything to us, because I was just an 18-year-old kid trying to find my way, understand my life, and here at Louisiana Tech, I found my life. I'm forever grateful for everything that ever happened for me here at this university. I thank you so very much. I humbly say thank you. I appreciate you all so much.
Well, the Louisiana Tech family loves you, Teaspoon. Let's give it up to Teresa Weatherspoon.
Great job. We love you. Oh, Spoon, I've been waiting for this.
One day Spoon's going to actually get some energy.
I don't have any.
Hey, now he's going to get us out to the Sarah and A.L. Williams Champions Plaza. We're going to introduce to you our VP and Director of Athletics since October of 2020. He's going to give us some instruction and formally thank the special honorees. Welcome, Dr. Ed Wood. Dr. Eric Wood.
Hey, don't forget. Yes. Hey, I'll be quick as we conclude this portion of the program. We're going to make our way out here in 2 minutes to the actual site for the unveiling. And so we're just so grateful that our fans and our student athletes and our staff are here. I'll have more comments when we get out there, but just for a moment while I have you here, I do want to go ahead and continue to congratulate our president. And I know he doesn't want me to talk about this right now. This night is about all of you, but I want to make sure that while we have everyone here, we just give another round of applause for Dr. Les Geis and Ms. Kathy Geis. 51 years on this campus, 10 as president, 45 as an administrator and a faculty member here.